Yeah, hi. I'm really excited to be here. I hope everybody's doing great. My name is Viktor, and I'm going to talk about team commitment, which is a huge topic for 5 minutes. So Lorenzo gave me 9 minutes. No, eight. Okay, 8. So I have to hurry. Okay, before I left for game development, I worked at several software companies, which had a quite broad variety. So it were huge software developers for automotive and insurance, and on the other hand, small businesses with a headcount up to 10. And there I experienced several approaches how to get teams more committed. Even though they claim to be all different, in the end they were quite similar. So what happens when you Google how to get teams more committed? You always, or most of the time, find those same types of web pages that state something like the best 5 methods how to get your team commitment maximized. And you always find these pictures with people in suits sitting in a meeting room and cheering with their hands up. I've never been in a meeting room with my hands cheering up, so maybe I did something wrong, but nevertheless. The ideas are okay. I mean, you have to have a clear team mission, the people have to be challenged, they have to have opportunities and stuff like that. And in my mind, it was always like a checklist. So inside the team, we had to fulfill this checklist, and once we were done, the commitment in the team was maximized. And then we were ready to work on exciting products like analytics-based risk evaluation systems. Exciting, no? I have to tell you, even if you work months on a product like that, I still didn't have quite an idea what it did for the customer. But the customer were happy, so I suppose we did a good job. No, seriously, what is the reason to get up in the morning when you work on something like that? It's money. And cash is something that is relatively rare in game development, which in my opinion is a great thing, but that's a whole different topic. So what is life for us game developers when we don't have money as motivation to stand up in the morning? It's excitement. We are game developers, right? So we love what we do, and we don't need any more reasons for that. So this changes the whole perspective on this whole team commitment thing, because most of the classic methods that I showed quickly in the beginning might become obsolete or even ridiculous. And from now on, I'm going to switch my tone a little bit, because I don't want to be one of those web pages telling you what to do with your team. I'm just going to tell you a story. And it's going to be a story about the Wolfpack. And the Wolfpack is a team that is currently developing the title Nocturnal Hunt. And yeah, we did something that we call the Wolf Week, which is basically a game jam week, but slightly different. Yeah, for us it was the birth of Nocturnal Hunt, and I will tell you how we did it, and maybe you will find something for you that you can use or that is applicable to your teams or to your environment. So first of all, we needed to find ourselves a great team, of course. Even one unmotivated grumpy cat can crash it all, so save your money when you cannot fulfill this part. Secondly, before the game jam week started, we needed to set ourselves boundaries, because we believed in it that boundaries will make us more creative in a way of thinking and direct the whole team in a similar direction. So in our case, we said we are making a first-person game without the shooter part. We are going to focus more on the graphics part, not on the technical side, and stuff like that. Okay, once the preparation is done, we were ready to start with the game jam week. And the global goal for the whole game jam, or let's call it the Wolf Week, is to find a concept by the end of the week the whole team is willing to work on. In the first 2.5 days, every single person in the team makes a game. I mean, we all are game developers, so everybody should be able to make a game somehow. And we had one pen and paper prototype, but in the end we had 9 digital prototypes that were playable and showed some kind of concept and were even sometimes proof of fun. And a second thing happened in this time, which is even more important than finding a concept. And this is that the people start gaining trust and respect for each other, which is the most important thing when we talk about team commitment, in my opinion. Yeah, so how does this work? Imagine an artist and a programmer, and both are making a prototype, a game. The artist will probably make a game that is more visually appealing, and the programmer will make a game that is better mechanics and is a more complex and maybe better game. Okay. Sometimes at least. What happens then? The programmer will see, okay, the artist is capable of making my game look great. And the artist will see that the programmer is necessary to implement some mechanics. Rationally, they know this, of course, that they need the other department. But there's a huge difference when they see that this specific person is capable of doing that job. And this is what establishes respect and trust. So after those days, we had a really good basis of trust and respect amongst each other because everybody proved their skill set. Yeah, so this was a great experience for us. And the second part of the Wolf Week is quite straightforward. Once we decided on the concept, which was surprisingly easy because there was no arguing or discussion about, hey, I want to take my concept and put it into production, we almost mutually agreed on one concept, which was Nocturnal Hunt. Once we decided, the rest of the time, everybody works on the same concept, which is useful, of course, because the team has a short development cycle, so everybody learns to work with the others. This can never be harmful, I think. In the end, we had a great prototype that we could show around. It showed a proof of fun and a proof of atmosphere, and which was even more important for me as producer in the team, that we had a really great, committed, and motivated team. To be honest, it's the most committed team I've ever experienced in my whole career, and I'm still very proud to be a part of the Wolfpack, and I think I can speak for the others. You can ask them, they're here somewhere. Yeah, so this was our experience with this slightly modified Game Jam week. This is the end of my talk. This is actually my first non-scientific talk, and I enjoyed it really much because it's the first time I can talk about something that I'm really passionate about. For the end, I will show you a short teaser for Nocturnal Hunt. If you like games that are stealth games where you actually happen to be the wolf, you should check it out. Just Google Nocturnal Hunt game and you will find Twitter or IndieDB. We have almost everything there. Yeah. And thanks to Ivan, the man behind the camera. Last week he did a great Let's Play for the game, so you can check out the gameplay online, even though it's not released yet. It's going to be released in the middle of this year. Thanks, that's it.